Hello and welcome to FPL Mates, your best mate for Fantasy Premier League content for the 2021-22 season. My name is Dan and today I've got a very special video for you guys indeed. Now, some of you might remember a few weeks ago I tried to make the perfect FPL Gameweek 1 team by combining the data from 10 different FPL managers. I took 10 very well-respected pundits, bloggers, podders, YouTubers, people who know their FPL stuff. I combined their teams to make the perfect team, basically, using 10. Now, that after I did that, you guys liked it a lot, but it didn't quite sit right with me. I wasn't fully happy with it. I wanted to go away and do something a little bit better. So what I did was I asked 100. Yes, 100 FPL experts, pundits, whatever, people who love FPL, bloggers who make FPL their life. I asked them to send me their Game Week 1 teams. They all did, and I have used their data to create a team that I'm going to share with you guys today. Now, if you watched yesterday's video, the last video in this, again, two-part series, I guess, we looked at the data. We looked at it very thoroughly. We looked at who were the most popular players, what players weren't very popular at all. We looked at all kinds of things like that, most popular captains, most popular formations, everything. We looked at everything. But now we're going to use that data, and we're going to make the team today. So guys, if you do enjoy this video, please do leave a like. If you really enjoy this content and you want to see more of this kind of stuff, please do subscribe as well. I would massively appreciate that indeed. But without further ado, let's have let's get on with it, I guess. So before we actually put the players on the pitch, there are a few things we need to define, I guess. So first of all, formation. Well, the most popular formation, as we identified in yesterday's video, was the 3-5-2 formation. 35 out of the 100 managers who sent me their teams, they had 3-5-2 as their formation. So as the most popular one, that's what we're going to go for today. Most teams also spent all of their budget. A lot of them didn't spend all of their budget. A lot of them left a million in the bank, a couple of million in the bank, or maybe even 0.5 million in the bank. That was a pretty common thing, but the most popular thing to do was just to spend all 100 million. So that's what we're going to do as well. And also another minor thing, I guess, is that most teams opted for 3 base price players on their bench, including a non-starting goalkeeper. So for example, in this team, it's going to be a 4 million goalkeeper who we're not expected to start. We're going to have a 4.5 million forward because we're going to have 2 starting strikers and 1 non-starting striker, I guess. So we're going to go for a 4.5 million forward, and obviously we're going to go for a 4 million defender as well on our bench. So these base price players, I guess, that allows you to spend most of your money on the starting 11. That's how the 100 teams went. So that's what we're going to go with today. We're going to make this team. So let's get up the pitch. Let's put some players on that pitch. So starting off in goal, we've got Robert Sanchez. 65% of the experts went for Sanchez. Seems really obvious to me. Sanchez has been in most, well, not all, but probably 90% of the drafts that I've made over the past month or whatever. So Sanchez does really seem like the best choice to go for as a goalkeeper. Brighton, obviously a fabulous defence. We know that Brighton have this wonderful run of opening fixtures as well. So by the time we do our first wild card, whether you're planning on wild carding early, whether you're planning on wild carding maybe after 10, 11 game weeks, something like that, over this initial period of time, Brighton have the best, really amazing fixtures. Not necessarily the best, but amazing top 3 or 4 fixtures over the first 10 games. So Sanchez is going to keep us plenty of clean sheets. Brighton in general just keep clean sheets anyway. So this looks really good as a goalkeeper, and no wonder 2/3 basically of managers are going for him among experts. Into defence, we've got Trent Alexander-Arnold, 92% selected out of the 100. So absolutely huge selection there. There was no way he could be left out. It's actually the second most popular player among the 100. So yeah, a no-brainer really. Again, a player who's been in literally every one of my drafts as well. So I'm sure a lot of you guys are exactly the same as me. He's just in every single one of your drafts. Yeah, just go for him. The creativity he offers. Liverpool, another team with fantastic defensive fixtures for this initial run of fixtures. So Trent's going to keep loads of clean sheets, but he's also going to add some creativity as well. We know he's one of the most creative players in the Premier League. He's going to take plenty of crosses, but he also takes shots. He also takes set pieces. There's so much to love. That's why 7.5 million. That's why he's so popular as well. So guys, I don't go without Trent Alexander-Arnold. I know a lot of you guys think, oh, I think I can get away with going without Trent Alexander-Arnold. I think I'd rather save the money. I don't know, guys. I don't know. Certainly, not according to this perfect team. Trent makes it. We've also got Luke Shaw for similar reasons. Has a degree of creativity, not quite as much as Trent Alexander-Arnold, but he does still have a decent degree of creativity. I think 5.5 million is a really, really good price for him, and it seems like 86% of our panel agree with that as well. So Luke Shaw, definitely a fantastic option, particularly with Manchester United improving their defence, Raphael Varane coming into this defence as well. So that's going to be a really nice one. We're going to have some clean sheets from United. They've got some good fixtures at the beginning of this season. They've got, when we look at the big teams who have good fixtures, Arsenal don't have particularly good fixtures. Spurs don't have particularly good fixtures. Chelsea don't have particularly good fixtures. A lot of Liverpool and Manchester United players are going to be in this team because they have such an amazing amount of fixtures, and everyone among our expert panel agrees with this, and that's what they're going for. So our third defender, on the other hand, is Ben White, who has kind of mixed fixtures, but Arsenal were one of the best performing defences last season. They conceded the third least goals last season, and they've added a player like Ben White, who is obviously an absolutely fabulous centre-back, an absolutely fabulous defender, who has come in as the direct replacement, the heir to David Luiz. Hopefully a little bit better than David Luiz for Arsenal, I suppose. But he's going to improve the defence as well. So that's going to be pretty nice there. 37% of experts say that he should be in their team. So, He is one of the most popular defenders to go for amongst experts. But I would say here that Vladimir Sofal just missed out on this team as well. He was very, very close to coming into this team. So you could maybe mix it up a little bit there. But Ben White, the data says, I have to go by the data. He is in the perfect team today. Let's move on into midfield. What's the perfect midfield? Well, the perfect midfield has to start off with Mo Salah. 99 out of 100 of the experts chose Mo Salah in their team. And even the 1% person who didn't have Salah in their team didn't seem too convinced to me when I spoke to them, about their team a little bit. They didn't seem too convinced themselves. So it seems like unanimously Mo Salah is at least the first name on the team sheet. 99% out of 100. That's pretty impressive, right? So yeah, definitely a player you want to have against Norwich in this first game. It's going to look really good. We've got Bruno Fernandes as well. I know there's a lot of debate of whether you're going to go Bru yes or Bru no. Right now, I'm kind of on the fence of this one a little bit, but 71% of our expert panel have gone for Bruno. 29% have opted to go without him. 71% prevails. The majority prevails, and Bruno makes the squad. Let's see what he can do in these opening fixtures. A good captaincy option for some of those game weeks where Mo Salah you perhaps wouldn't want to go for. Obviously, we've got penalties. We've got a good Manchester United side with some really nice fixtures. Yeah, why not? Rafinha is in here as well, 36%, a really good price for one of the better players in the league, really, is Riri's talented winger. One of the most creative players in the league again, so he's going to be getting lots of assists throughout the season. We're hoping that he's going to build on his success from last season and do even better this year. I really think he can, so 6.5 million, I think everyone kind of agrees that he's probably the best 6.5 million option long term. Especially long term is probably the key message here, because the fixtures initially don't look amazing, but he's still in a lot of teams, so he does make the squad. We've got Harvey Barnes next. He's in 30% of teams. A lot of people are maybe feeling a little bit more confident after seeing him in the Community Shield. Obviously in the Community Shield, Leicester did play with wingers, and Harvey Barnes was a left winger. We know he's one of their best players. We know how crucial he is to their team as well. So, yeah, he's going to hopefully do just as well as he did last season. And we're going to finish off the midfield with Mason Greenwood, another 30% guy. I think, to be honest, Greenwood is more of a player who is more popular among people who didn't go for Bruno Fernandes. But what we're doing here is we're just picking objectively, straightforward thinking, the most popular players, not really thinking about combinations of players. We're just thinking about each player individually, who's going to score us the most points, which, to be fair, is a really good way of playing fantasy anyway. That's arguably how everyone should play fantasy. Just pick the players who you think are going to get the most points. Mason Greenwood, a great shout to go in there. We know Sancho's unlikely to play the first game. We know Cavani's unlikely to play in the first game. So Greenwood is kind of almost certainly going to play at least the first game. And then after that, probably a few games after that as well. Maybe right up to the first international break. So he's going to be awesome, particularly if we look at how well he did at the end of last season when he was outscoring, Bruno in his own team. He was outscoring everyone at Manchester United, Mason Greenwood, wasn't he? So yeah, more of the same, please, Mason. I do also want to say Jota has just missed out on this team as well. So maybe if you want to do a switcheroo, Mason Greenwood to Jota or something like that, then yeah, you could do. But this is the team. This is the most popular players. Forwards, Michail Antonio, 84%. That's enormous. Like I said yesterday in the video where we were looking at the data, I was so surprised to see how many teams Michail Antonio was in. 84%. But I kind of do understand. West Ham have some really nice fixtures. We know Antonio, when he's fit, scores a lot of goals. He did go off it a little bit at certain times last season, particularly when Lingard came into the team and became more of a focal point. But if Antonio's going to be the focal point once again in this team, then he is going to do absolutely incredibly. So there's no real surprise that a lot of people are going for him. You've got good fixtures. We've got an incredibly prolific striker who's a really good finisher. A player who's always in the box, always looking to get opportunities to score. Maybe get the odd assist as well, because there are some players around him who are capable of goals. And yeah, if Antonio's going to be the focal point of this West Ham attack again, and there's every reason to believe that he should be, then he's going to be one of the highest scoring forwards in the game. And then we're going to finish off with Danny Ings, 59%. So over half of our experts went for Danny Ings in their team as well, which puts him in the team. So yeah, 8 million, new signing for Aston Villa. Obviously, we know how prolific he is when he is fit. I think a lot of people do think that he does have injury problems, but I think that's kind of a little bit of a myth. He kind of played like 38 games in the 2019-20 season. In the 2020-21 season, I think he still managed to play like 28, 29 games or something like that. He was only injured for a very, very brief period that season. So maybe the rumours of him being injury prone have stemmed from a fair few years ago, and actually he's actually a pretty safe pick, and I think he's going to be fine. I really like the creativity in this Aston Villa team. There's so much more creativity in the Aston Villa team than there was at the Southampton team. So for that reason, you've got an insane finisher at Aston Villa now, which they didn't have before. And to add to that creativity, it's mouth-watering. It really is. I really do like this pick so much. So I'm really glad in a way that he's made this perfect team, because I've been really, really mouth-watering since I found out that he'd moved to Aston Villa, and I saw him in the friendly game as well that Aston Villa played. He scored in his first game. It's going to be big, guys. Danny Ings is going to be big, so he makes the team as well. So let's do the bench. Ben Foster, 69% of teams. Ben Foster's in, so a really easy bench option there. We've got Daniel Amartey, 39%. Obviously, Leicester are starting this season with only one fit primary centre-back, I guess, in Soyuncu. Fofana and Evans are going to be out for the start of the season. So Amartey is going to fill in at centre-back unless Leicester buy another centre-back. So that's going to be huge. A 4 million defender for Leicester. That's such a bargain, so no wonder he's in this team. We've got Michael Obafemi, another incredibly popular pick. He makes the top 10 most popular picks, just because so many people are putting him in on their bench. It's pretty much a case of, if you are playing a formation with two forwards, you just put in Michael Obafemi, just because he's going to be that, we think that he's going to start the season playing for Southampton as a 4.5 million forward to play. Actually starts for their respective team. Not even a particularly terrible team in Southampton. He could actually get some points potentially. We don't know for sure. We think that Armstrong potentially is going to come and be signed by Southampton from Blackburn. So maybe Obafemi finds himself not playing. Maybe Walcott plays as the second striker alongside Che Adams instead. But if Obafemi gets some game time, then to have a 4.5 million forward who actually plays is just always incredible and incredibly rare as well. So a lot of people trying to take advantage of that. It could happen. It could be an amazing pick. It really could. So no surprise he's in there. And then finally, Luke Ayling as the rotating defender with Ben White. So Ben White and Ayling do complement each other really well. So when Ben White has a good fixture, Luke Ayling has a bad fixture. And when Luke Ayling has a bad fixture, when Luke Ayling has a good fixture, Ben White has a bad fixture. So they rotate really well, and you just move them in and out of your teams. We're going to start with Luke Ayling last on the bench because he is playing against Manchester United. Not a great fixture. Ben White starting off against Brentford. So we'll switch in this team. You would switch them about depending on who has the easier fixtures and have rotating third defenders. I guess it would be the best way of saying that. And finally, we're going to choose some captains and some vice captains. No surprise, Mo Salah. 95% of my teams that I had a look at the 100 teams had Mo Salah as their captain. So obvious. Mo Salah's the captain. And for vice captain, we're going to go for Bruno Fernandes. So 55% of the teams that I looked at had Bruno Fernandes as their vice captain. It's pretty much seemed that if you have Bruno Fernandes in your team, it's pretty obvious that you should vice captain him. After that, it was just randomness of who was vice captained. So yeah, Bruno Fernandes is going to be our vice captain. And that concludes the perfect team. There it is. Oh my God. Right there, guys, in front of you, you are seeing, according to FPL Experts and the data from all of their teams combined into one, the perfect team, the perfect FPL team right for you right now. So, guys, definitely, if you don't really know what team you want to make, maybe start with this and then maybe make a couple of changes to this. This is an incredible basis to your team. Your team, when you finish making your team, should look roughly like this, with maybe a few changes, a little bits of spice that you want to add in. Completely fair enough. But in general, your team should look kind of like this. And if it doesn't, make it look a bit more like this. Maybe use this as the starting point and then add your own spin to it. I think that'd be a really good way of making your Game Week 1 team for this season. So there we go. Oh, well, I mean, that concludes the end of this two-part series. Guys, if you haven't watched the part 1, do go check it out because it is full of really useful information about all of the players that we spoke about today and some even more players, because loads of players I mentioned in that other video, because obviously when you look at 100 teams, a lot of different players do crop up. They do pop up. We do see so many, a lot more variety than you saw in this particular video alone. But oh my God, I can't believe we've done it, guys. the two-part series is done. Make sure you do like this video if you appreciate, you know, there was a lot of effort that went into this, guys. Believe me, when I was looking at all the data and trying to make it into something useful and just compiling it and writing it all down and looking at so many teams. But worth it though, guys, because we made the perfect team, right? We've made the perfect team. Guys, of course, subscribe if you're new around here. You want more FPL content and you want to dominate your mates in your mini leagues. I'm going to try and help you to do that. And aside from that, guys, I will see you later, mates, for plenty more content. See you later, mates. Bye-bye.